When you have no money, do this with your brain. There's actually something that you can do with your brain, more do to it, and it will actually make your brain a magnet for more money, success, and all-around great opportunities. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. If you're excited for the next 12 months and you're ready to use this thing right here, your good old brain, to start bringing money quickly into your life, make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there, and let's dive right into this video. Just like you would think of a magnet, and a magnet attracts certain things to it, think of your brain like a magnet, only your brain is a switching station of a transmitter, a generator of electromagnetic frequencies, and they're called EKGs. And so your brain transmits electromagnetic frequencies. Now, a lot of the way that it does that is through the way that your neural networks, the way your nerve cells, the way the cells in your brain get wired. You know, we say things like, oh, he's hardwired that way, she's hardwired that way. Your brain wires essentially just like that. It's called Hebb's law. It says that nerve cells that fire together wire together. The cells in your brain, the circuits in your brain fire based off of your life, your emotion, the things that people say to you, the experiences that you have, and then it wires together slowly but surely. When the same old happens over a while, it wires into the brain, and then the brain actually builds these basically like neural network patterns is basically what they are. And those patterns in your brain is what produce the electromagnetic frequency that they generally radiate out that creates your experience of reality. Your experience of reality is a bunch of light and energy that your eyes are transmitting frequency back to your brain to basically continue to reaffirm and reproduce this. Only your eyes aren't seeing anyways. They're just reflectors that are reflecting electromagnetic frequencies that are reflecting light to activate certain brain cells in your brain that are telling you, this is my experience. I'm broke, I don't have money, I'm too old, I'm too young. Well, what if instead you trained your brain for the reality that you want? If you think about this and you say that people say, well, you're like the 5 people you're around most. What if instead you're like the culture that you were brainwashed into? Well, you're like the 5 people you're around most. Kind of. You're really, what you more are, is like the society that you were brought into, the society that you were brainwashed into. And then you think about this. 75% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. They say that 9 out of 10 people die with less than $10,000 and virtually no financial assets. The majority of people can't come up with $500 immediately for an emergency. We're having so much trouble with people not being able to retire. There's just the majority haven't mastered this financial freedom game. I think that was by design. I think the top 0.1% cultural engineers and banking families over generation have distinctly built media, propaganda, and PR in ways that are designed to control us so that they end up with the money. So what I'm saying here is society has programmed you to actually not have money. My reasons were I thought I was too young because I was 19 years old when I dropped out of college and traveled around the world and then wrote my first book about it. All the publishers said no, so I had to self-publish it. That went on to sell its first 10,000 copies. Then I got a multiple publishing deal with the #1 publisher in the world as a 21-year-old with Penguin Random House for 2 books when I was 21. It's like, well, what changed? Well, I failed my junior English class in high school. I did bad on my SATs. I only got into school because I was a good basketball player. My mom helped me with my college admission essays. Like, I didn't view myself as intelligent. And for a while, I took Adderall. I was prescribed Adderall because I thought I had ADD and ADHD. I had this complex where I didn't think I could concentrate. My point is, those were the reasons that I thought, flash forward a few years later, when I chose a career path that I'm on now and I wrote my first book, and it didn't seem like it was working out. Publishers saying, no, man, maybe I should turn back. And then all my complex came out. You're not good enough, you're too young, well, you don't have your college degree, and remember, you have ADD and ADHD, so you wouldn't be concentrated enough to be able to be successful. Like all these things. And what I'm inviting you to do is think of those things for you. Well, what would your life be like if you didn't have them anymore? Like they were just erased from your brain. All those things they're not who you are. They're a neurological pattern in the brain that's been wired. It's fired and wired together for so long that it's built a neural connection. And that feels like us because it controls us chemically, it controls us physiologically, it controls our thought and beliefs, our emotions, our perceptions on reality, our feelings of optimism and confidence or lack thereof. And we can train it all. We can train our brain. And so I created a software called the second mind, because I call the second mind the one that you've programmed. The first mind is a mind that's like programmed by society, but the second mind is the one where you go, oh my gosh, this is true. See, this isn't airy-fairy. Let me tell you why. There's a term called neuroplasticity, and that's what gives you the power to rewrite your brain. You can rewrite your brain to reflect the bank account that you want, the confidence that you want, the income that you want, the career that you want, the number of commas and zeros in your bank account that you want. You can write it the way that you want. It's called neuroplasticity. It's the brain's ability to change, rewire, and reprogram itself from suggestion. And guess what? You can suggest a new pattern and reality to your brain and thus create it. Most people are waiting for the outside world to change before their mind changes, but if your brain changes first, then you can change your outer reality to match the inner one that you've trained yourself to live from, physiologically and neurologically. So right there down below is thesecondmind.com, and I have a free demo. It's in the comments right there down below. You'll see thesecondmind.com, and it's in the description, and it's a free financial demo of the second mind for finances, to reprogram it specifically for finances, and it's right there down below. So I want to leave you with 4 quick ways that you can start to bring money into your life in a faster pace by training your brain to actually be the catalyst, the momentum that brings financial opportunities into your life. The first is no next. When someone says no, you say next. I learned this from Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, and how this pertains to money is no next means that you are rejecting the no in your life or the lack in your life. So that means when you see your bank account and it doesn't have the money that you want into it and you've been working really hard, so you're really frustrated that the digits haven't changed because you put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into it, it means that instead of your brain, your mind reacting to that picture you're seeing, the outer projection that you're seeing, which is your bank account, instead of that outer projection and then your mind responding to it, you instead reject the expression. And when you reject that outer expression, you give yourself the opportunity to recreate a new impression. An impression would be you holding the image of prosperity in your life, even though your eyes, your physical senses, are telling you that you don't have it. It might be that you just get fired from your job, or you went for a sales call and it didn't work out. And so what happens for most people, why they don't make the progress that they want financially, is because when they get a no, when they get told no, or they fail, or they fall, a lot of times they take the event personal. Failure is not personal. It's just an event that happened. And what happens though is we make failure personal. But now you can start saying no next. When someone says no, you say next. When something says no, you say next. And you keep forming the pictures of prosperity, of the financial success that you're having. Like, look, dude, if you've been seeing a lack of money in your bank account for a long time, it takes 2 minutes to screenshot it, print out your mobile banking, and then literally write a new number in your banking and put it on your wall and just visualize it for 2 minutes a day. You can pull it into Photoshop and you can change it really quick in just like 2 or 3 minutes. What are you doing there? You're rejecting the outer world and recreating an inner. So comment down below, no, next. When someone says no, you say next. The second part is to feel the good. That means quieting the mind and slowing down for long enough that you can remember what it feels like to feel good. A lot of times we get so attached to our mind or so caught up in the busyness of life, we forget what it feels like to feel good. Because we're so caught in a pattern or a reaction to maybe the money hasn't come yet and I'm affirming it. Instead, we move out of that and we remember feel good. Like feeling good about the great opportunities to come. If you really think about it, this is the best time in human history to be alive. It's never been easier to have financial independence. It's never been easier to have financial freedom. There's never been more opportunities than there are right now. This is the greatest time alive. Like, isn't that fun and exciting? Boom, all of a sudden you're reconnecting to what feels good. So remember to feel good, and this creates the positive expectancy. And that breeds results. Expectancy. Expecting the great things. There's something in psychology called anticipatory anxiety. And that's when people have anxiety, but their anxiety comes from anticipating things that may or may not happen. And then they have physiological reactions to it now, even though it hasn't happened or may never happen. They're having physiological and neurological reactions to it that train their brain and body to live in that reality. Well, instead of anticipatory anxiety, what if instead you had anticipatory money? You expected financial freedom. And so you started to train your physiology. You started to train your brain, your body, to live from there now. Expectancy money. All of a sudden, once your brain and your physiology take hold of that, that's why I put together the second mind. So you had a real system that was designed to do that for you. So it's right there down below. It's in the comments, in the description. It's thesecondmind.com, and you can use the free demo for finances. It's thesecondmind.com right there down below. The third part is, that's not part of my belief system. No thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Anytime a voice goes in your head and it's an old negative pattern, remember, it's not you, it's just a pattern that's been programmed into the brain and the mind, and now you're transcending that pattern. It's not you. So when someone else says something negative, when you read something negative, when somebody tries to talk you out of your own greatness and your own higher vision for your life, all you say, either out loud, respectfully, with peace and joy and love, or you just keep it in your own mind and you say, thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. So comment that down below. Thank you, but that's not part of my belief system. Comment that down below. You can start doing that with money. So when someone says, I don't know if you can make money as an artist. Like, my big thing is everyone said, like, you're throwing away your whole life and you're going to be a starving artist for the rest of your life if you, first of all, become an author, because 95% of books don't sell 2,500 copies. You cannot live off 2,500 copies of your book sold. It's impossible. And so there was all that pattern, but I started saying, no thanks, that's not part of my belief system. I'm going to do what excites me and brings me joy and passion, and I will be able to turn that into a sustainable livelihood. And that's something that you can say as well to start to bring the money into your life. So comment down below, no thank you, that's not part of my belief system. Number 4, repeat, repetition. So just as the brain can get patterned for things that aren't in our highest and best good, we can also repattern it for the things that we want. The key word here is repeat, repetition. Repeat, repeat, repetition, repetition. The more that you start to remember to live from a world that does not yet exist in the physical realm. That means living in your new house before you have it, living in to making the biggest sales and being employee of the month, living into having your dream business and shaking hands with some customers and clients that had their lives changed. It means driving in your dream car with the convertible top down and you feel the cold wind on your face with your seat warmer on. It means laughing and looking into the eyes of your soulmate that may not even exist yet while you're on the beach in Hawaii. And when you start to repeat and train that, repetition, your brain, your physiology lives from there. And then you see the inside picture become a neurological pattern. Then it becomes an outside reality. So go ahead, give the Second Mind a try for that right there down below. It's thesecondmind.com. You'll see it in the comments in the description right there down below. Okay, thank you for watching this video. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and when you reject the outside appearance of the lack of money in your life, and you start living into having financial prosperity, and you start training your mind to live from there by passionately believing in what does not yet exist, we create it. When you start having expectancy of money, even though your physical senses want to tell you that you don't have it, then what's happened is you've started to train your brain for a new reality. And when your brain gets trained for confidence, for abundance, for financial freedom, guess what? You start pulling new opportunities from the ether, from the quantum field into your life. You start moving forward in directions that you couldn't even imagine because they're so good. So many great things. You're blessed with a new job, a new opportunity, whatever it is, things start flowing. They're called synchronicities, coincidences. Some people call it luck. But it all comes down to training your brain to live from there. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there. The like button is what sends us out into the YouTube universe. Even if you're already subscribed, just double check. Have you actually hit the bell notification? I'm not sure. And then subscribe too. So there's a like, there's a subscribe, there's a bell notification. If you hit all that, this sends this channel out into the YouTube universe, and the mission of this channel is to help people live the most free life that they can. You know, they say that stress illness is at the highest it's ever been, and they also say that 50% of divorces are caused by money. And it's the #1 cause of divorce. So I think that stress-related illness comes from a lot of times financial stresses, because we all have them, even people that have a lot of money or no money. It's just our brain has been trained to always be in fear of finances. And I think it limits a lot of our happiness. I think that it would solve a lot of relationships if we all started to train our brain for prosperity and recognize that this is a world where you can offer amazing services, amazing talents. We live in a more connected world than ever before, that you are smarter than you think that you are, and that there is a real opportunity here in this beautiful world. And when we all train our mind for that, what happens is more stress, more joy, more freedom, more success, and more prosperity. And I think we make the world a better place by doing that. So when you hit the like button, you contribute to that because the algorithm will send this out to more people. So thank you for watching this video. And right there down below is thesecondmind.com. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.